here we are. This is our kitchen. This is the background that we had created. The first thing we basically did when we first moved in. And
first thing we do is made a set.
Yeah. Priorities. And it's great because it's become a very much a daily use zone.
Yeah.
All of our pans, pots, spices, salt, pepper, everything that we need for cooking is here and not stuck in a drawer somewhere, which is great.
I really like it because it's so easy to have access. Now I understand why commercial kitchens always have like open racks with their pans and stuff hanging. And
yeah.
It was a good move.
It was a very good move. Okay.
So what are we going to talk about?
Aside from what we really like, what we did, this video is the part 2 of what would you say that we don't really like?
Well, just things we're dealing with and getting used to.
And getting used to, because no home is perfect.
Yeah, and this is a big change for us.
Yeah.
After being in our previous living space and studio and production area that you saw in all of our videos, having been there for 23 years for me and
like 14
years for you, this is a big change for us. So we thought we would just let you in on things that we've discovered and what we've been doing and how we're developing this space to meet our needs now.
Yeah. Again, thankfully the pros are longer than the cons, but when you're weighing things in life, the cons come along with it and you adapt to it.
And then you find ways of adapting.
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. We hope you can benefit from us sharing what we're going through.
And we may ask for some opinions on certain things. Some help and suggestions. The first area we decided to start was the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen, because we do this and we make videos for you about food and cooking and stuff, and we love to cook, the kitchen is really the center of our life.
Yeah.
It's kitchen living area, we definitely spend more time here than any other place for waking hours.
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
Yeah.
And it's not just because we make videos here, it's just our life. We are food people, big time.
And it's funny because we like the kitchen, especially when we first saw it. It's like, wow, it's a really cool looking kitchen. And of course it came with this ridiculously expensive, but actually really nice Wolf stove. But once we started moving in, we realized this is more of a show kitchen than an actual kitchen, meaning we had no storage space.
It's more aesthetics. Now, please keep in mind, we actually didn't have very much time to go house shopping, look for other places. So for the places that we did get to see. We
fell in love with this place right off the bat.
We're handy with our hands, not just in food cooking, but when it comes to projects and building. So we thought whatever there would be, we'd tackle it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it can't be tackled, then we'll just live with it. That's the reality of the situation. But we figured in the kitchen, when we first came to look at it, we could only come here twice. We've never encountered shallow depth.
I mean, it looked like a lot of storage in the kitchen. Because we've got like big cabinets going almost up to the ceiling.
Yep.
And cabinets below.
Yeah.
And there was an island here.
Yep.
And then when we started moving in, we realized a few things.
So first we'll start with cabinets. Cabinets.
Never occurred to me. This just never occurred to me because for longer than we were in the previous studio, I had what was basically a custom built kitchen that I moved from my previous studio, and the upper cabinets were like 15 inches deep. Yeah. We could put in like big dinner plates and put things around that. And it was like tons of storage. It was like a full pantry in the uppers. Then when we went to unpack, we realized our dinner plate doesn't even fit in the upper cabinets.
Just barely, because the cabinet's interior is, I think, 10 and a half inches.
I wrote it down, yeah.
The depth is 10 and a half.
Yeah, and the shelves are 9.5 inches.
Whose plate size is that? Well,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe
that's a nice side plate, but that's not a dinner plate.
Now, the one thing we did notice that there is a bit of an open shelving area, and I'm guessing that's where people put their plates because that's where our plates fit.
Yep, that's it. So, which is actually we're discovering turning out rather nice.
Yeah.
Because when you go to reach for a plate,
Yeah.
both of us, we tend to do this. We get right to the end of the cooking, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we need plates.
Oh yeah, that thing. We need a vessel to put the food on.
So it's actually really convenient to just reach to an open shelf. We're not fighting with doors and banging our heads against the doors.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I have a bad habit of leaving the doors open.
I have, I think, dent marks on my forehead to prove it.
So very narrow uppers, right? Upper cabinets. And you'll notice the space between the countertop and the first set of uppers is really tall.
Yeah.
So the only cabinets we can reach.
I don't know if they can see me on camera, but this is, yeah, it's at the middle of my
It's like 25 inches from the countertop.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's great because it means you can put things on the countertop, and we're going to make use of that. But it means we can't reach the upper cabinets at all. Like, you know, anything above that first cabinet, even I have to get on a step stool. Sorry about that. I have to get on a step stool. So it's challenging.
We have 3 grades of step stools. We have a single,
A little step up.
we have a double,
We have 2 steps
and then we have a 5-step.
for actually getting at the upper storage.
Yeah, yeah.
So that upper storage, Nadia explained to me that in designer terms, that's called deep storage, but it's no deeper than lower storage.
Not in depth at all. And some of them are actually missing shelves. So it's like, you know, we've put some stuff there, but there is no middle shelf, so we can't stack items.
We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, they're not really full up there. It's sparse.
Yeah, I'm in the market for one of those little clampy hands that stands up and you can reach up and at least open the doors to see what's in there so you can find things.
Yeah, this is our comical situation.
So all of a sudden being in a kitchen with like Zippo storage was a shock.
Yeah, because you know, part of our cooking is that we come from 2 different cultures. We also love other cultures, and there's many different cultures with different vessels, spices, you know, cooking styles. So we like to embrace as much as we can.
I mean, just look. I mean, that's just our pot supply.
We do use
All
of them. We're not joking. We do use all of them for
We
different
made dinner. We made dinner a couple of nights ago. We had all 4 stove elements plus the grill going with all of our pots
and the oven.
and the oven.
Yeah, I mean, that's our cooking.
That's how we roll.
And this channel, because we also explore other food and cultures, we need to be able to store all the items that we have possessed over time.
Spices and ingredients. And
Yes. So,
first thing we set about thinking about was building a pantry.
yes. Pantry Wall, our pride and joy.
Yes. So we realized we would need to build a set of shelves for where the TV is.
It was
I think
a
we
blank
sort of
wall.
showed a little bit of that.
We
Well,
showed a little, yeah.
Yeah. But we basically decided that what we would do is buy oak lumber, like oak,
It's red oak.
1 by 10 and 1 by 12.
Yeah.
Red oak lumber.
Yeah.
And just give it a nice finish and a urethane and use that for the shelving.
If you want to see a video of how we did the whole process, because we did record it, let us know. We can put it together and happily show you.
Looks really good.
And it was a labor of love. And this is something that suits the place. And it looks like it's part of the place, which is what we wanted. And we'll be here for many, 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 many years.
And we realized as we were planning that set of shelves that it would make sense to build a set of pantry shelves on the opposite wall, because we have a beautiful brick wall between 2 windows that's like the perfect place for an open pantry.
Yeah.
And so while we were preparing the wood for those shelves, we sanded and prepared wood for the pantry shelves. And Nadia sourced a beautiful set of brass standards and railings for the sides of the shelves, which are really, really nice.
And they are, not unlacquered, they're unpolished brass. So basically they will develop patina over time.
We're hoping.
We're hoping. I'll touch it every night just to put skin oil on and get patina going. But we wanted something really simple and beautiful and still match the place.
And the idea is that as we're putting things on the pantry shelf, things aren't falling off the other side.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really good idea.
Yeah.
And then we've made an interesting discovery as we've been going through this place, because we'll be discussing something here and we'll go, I wonder if IKEA makes something like this. Like we had to put some additional cupboards in the bedroom to hold some of our clothing. And we were looking at IKEA, because that's sort of how we make wardrobes and stuff. And we were just discussing, well, maybe we should paint the exterior darker to go with some of the paint in the room rather than having blank white. And the next time we open up IKEA, they've got dark wardrobe.
For packs.
For packs.
Yeah.
It's like, that wasn't there yesterday.
No.
And then we discussed it and it suddenly appeared.
Yeah.
Is somebody listening?
Just for us, IKEA, just for us.
So we were just getting ready to put up the pantry shelves, which we had sort of mapped out to go relatively low. And we went to IKEA and discovered this beautiful wicker. No, it's not wicker, it's woven.
Not rattan.
Rattan.
It's a rattan.
Yeah, woven rattan cabinet, exactly the right size to fit on that pantry wall.
And it's pretty solid.
Very solid. It's like solid wood and then rattan sides and doors.
Yeah.
And it can hold all the stuff that's like part of the pantry that isn't sort of pretty.
Yeah.
Canned goods and stuff like that.
Plastic containers and stuff like that. That's just holding pasta.
Yeah. So we got that, and then we put open shelves above it, and I gotta say, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, and very easy to get to when we're cooking. It's just right there. Most of the items are labeled. Grab what you need and you're good to go.
Yeah. So that's been a great. We have one more piece of that in that they make a low console table meant to be like a TV table in the same look and finish. And when it comes back in stock, we're going to get one of those to go underneath the windows adjacent to the pantry, and that'll hold a few more sort of backup items and essentials and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how we're dealing with some of the interesting storage stuff.
Yeah. The one thing that was not weird, I shouldn't say weird, it's just the way some people like to situate things in their home. When we first came, there is a coat closet in the hallway. And when we looked at it, the person had converted it into a pantry. We're not sure where this person was hanging their coats. We moved in, the first thing we said was, aside from doing this, our beautiful set, that we wanted to convert the coat closet
back to coats.
Back to coats and actually create a separate dedicated area to pantry that would actually hold a lot more items. And that's what we did.
That's what we've done so far.
Yeah. The other alternative to storage was the kitchen island. So the kitchen island that was here before, when we first walked in.
Very stylish, very pretty.
Wood countertop.
Countertop, sort of a wooden cabinet underneath, and then a counter-levered set with legs over here. You could actually seat 5 people around it, but there's a big but. Don't be fooled by what you see. There was Zippo storage. There was like 2 little open shelves and 1 little cabinet with no shelving in it.
It was actually the biggest cabinet we had here, but with no shelving.
No shelving, really shallow.
And for both of us, especially for Rob, you're like 6'3". Yeah. To go all the way down, try to get a pot from the bottom shelf with no additional internal shelving.
It was really dumb. So we realized
it wasn't working out for us. It obviously worked out for the previous owners, but we're not really going to have people sitting here to eat. We didn't do that in the previous place either.
So we quickly realized that we were going to have to do an IKEA island again.
But we hired IKEA to assemble it.
This time we decided to let IKEA assemble it. So we went in and we're sitting at it now. Now this wooden countertop is what was here when we moved in. Mm-hmm. We basically kept it. We gave away the cabinet that was there.
We put it up on Facebook Marketplace, and someone
came and took it away for the new property they just bought. And they're on a budget, so
it works out.
Put to use. My brother and his wife have a cottage, and they want to use this wooden countertop as a big table for their sitting area.
Yep.
So that will go. But meanwhile, this is just a placeholder. Tomorrow, we're getting the countertop for this island.
Yeah.
So the island itself is all drawers.
Yes.
Deep drawers, shallow drawers, garbage and recycling drawer.
Yes.
It's fabulous.
I cannot state strongly enough, if you're going to have an island, drawers are your friend. If you're going to have lower cabinetry, drawers are your friend. No matter
Yes.
what age you're at, it's just easy to get to things, organize things. And the way we did this, again, we have one drawer dedicated to garbage and recycling. We have another set of drawers dedicated to like all of our sheet pans, our
Racks.
cast iron pan, like the stuff for the oven, basically.
Yeah.
And then we have other drawers where all our bowls, mixing bowls and everything, strainers, and I think our big appliances like the Instant Pot
Yeah.
and other electrical appliances. And then this side here, it's all the single drawers, most of them. And it's 2 drawers dedicated to spices.
We're a spicy couple.
Yep. One drawer dedicated to other extra utensils and cooking stuff. And I think the bottom drawer is like a miscellaneous of whatever we have left
So far.
over.
That's actually one we haven't totally
Yeah.
filled yet, which is
Yeah.
room for organization.
Yeah, so we're getting to the point where we don't have to really do the extreme high cabinets of deep storage. Because it's also really hard for me, never mind Rob, it's really difficult for me to get up there.
And what I really love about the IKEA system is they've also designed it so you can do drawers within drawers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have a deep drawer, and when you pull that open, there's another drawer inside. So that's where our cutlery and
Yeah.
our cooking implements and stuff like that sit.
We have a lot.
We do.
But we also
Thank goodness. We've got an island to hold it all.
I mean, we do client work as well, and client work has different needs. So, we have what we have, and
Yeah,
thankfully we're
exactly.
finding homes for everything.
So this is working well. Tomorrow we have a beautiful black
Matte black.
quartz, like
Yeah.
man-made quartz, acrylic surface
Yeah.
countertop coming in, and we'll show you that, and probably in this video by the time we get it installed.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see if they'll let us. If not, we'll definitely take some photos and share it with you guys.
But it was really great having IKEA
Yeah.
assemble the island, because if you recall, it took us quite a few days to do the last IKEA island that we put in the previous place.
Yep.
And a lot of profanity and
There was
hair
a lot of
pulling.
there was a lot of bleeps in that video.
Yeah.
That island back in the previous place is 8 foot. This
is-
island is 9 feet. So
9 or 9.5.
the original island that came with this place, this countertop is 9.5 feet, but we built a 9 foot island.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're going to have half-inch less, which is fine for us.
Half
Which is half foot.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a big
Hard foot.
difference. Hard foot. So it gives us space to go around the island.
Yeah.
We are fortunate that this kitchen is big, where we can actually have a 9 foot island.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And when it came time for IKEA to assemble it, this nice little, surprisingly, a little elder couple, sort of a retired furniture maker.
Yeah.
He'd been custom making furniture for like 40 years.
Yeah.
And this is their sort of retirement income supplement thing to do.
Yes.
And they arrived. They were so organized. First thing they did was open a big carton and lay it down on the floor to protect the floor with the cardboard set up on top of it. They had it all figured out. They had a system that one was doing one thing while the other was doing, and they put this whole island together and installed it in one day.
Yeah, not a week. That's how long it took us, a week.
So we were happy to let them do that, and highly, highly recommend IKEA's assembly service. Very well organized, and that was a pleasure to watch.
One thing to keep in mind, if somebody is watching this video and want to eventually do an island, whether it's IKEA or any island, if you have heated floor, you can't drill into the floor.
Which we have here.
If you weren't aware of that. This building came with heated floor because originally when the building was built, they had a steam
In-floor heating.
but boiler system, and that is still in the building. So we let IKEA know that we have heated flooring, and they used a strong adhesive basically to keep the island in place
Yeah.
instead of drilling to the ground. So just to keep that in mind.
Another thing we noticed once we moved in is the very charming looking lighting that was in the kitchen.
But really lack of lighting.
Didn't really give us any lighting.
You can't really see it now. We don't really have them on. They give off a very orange
They're
cast.
pendant lights with LED Edison bulbs in them, which give off a really, really yellow light and not much of it.
It's not even yellow, it's orange.
It's yellow-orange, yeah.
Oh.
And we noticed, and then there were fairly old, I think, bulbs in the vent hood.
Oh,
So
they're very yellow.
really yellow. And so we couldn't even tell, like Nadia makes chai. And part of making the chai is to watch it turning slightly brown, caramelizing.
Yeah.
She couldn't even tell when it was caramelizing because the light was so yellow.
Yeah.
So we replaced those lights with
Thank
nice, clean white LEDs.
Yeah.
And we are going to replace the lighting in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We're going to be ordering from a company in Brooklyn.
Yes, I think they're called Stick Bulb. We actually went to a lighting store here in downtown.
Yeah.
We perused and we went to Lightform.
Lightform.
And over there they had this beautiful long light made of wood from a company called Stick Bulb. And what they do is they basically reclaim discarded wood or found wood and they make it into these beautiful lights. It's very simple in design, but it really works for us.
And they light both down and up. You have the options. You're basically designing the light.
Yeah.
They have various lengths and different options, lighting up, lighting down.
We're going to go with the
we're
natural tone.
And we'll then place it right over this island so it provides proper working light. And we'll keep you appraised on that. It's going to be really nice.
Because these lights are weird. We have two lights here that are not really. I'm not sure what
the placement of the lights is weird.
And then you have this light here, right above us, that's made actually centered onto the island.
No, not quite centered on the island.
Isn't it facing it? It's kind of like, if they had some people sitting here, they'd have a light source. But it's just odd placement. And then the upper cabinet lights.
Ugly and don't do any lighting.
Don't do any lighting. It casts such a hard shadow, and we are lacking under counter lighting.
Yeah.
So, we need lighting in this kitchen because we can't see at night what we're really doing.
Right.
We have to do Marco Polo if we get lost in the kitchen.
It's not quite that bad, but we definitely are going to be fixing up the lighting in the kitchen. So we'll deal with the lighting and you'll see the results. And then the next thing, we're going to want your input on this, is the backsplash.
So this is our backsplash. It's a variety of red tones.
And it's red glass.
Yes.
Red glass tiles.
Yep. With these weird silver toned
Square tiles?
adornments.
Adornments. And again, it's one of those things that looked really good when you sort of take the first glance at the kitchen. It's like, ooh, that's really cool. But we've both gotten pretty tired of the look of the red tiles.
It's red.
It's really red, and especially now that we've made a really beautiful island. The drawers are black. The other side of the doors are oak, which matches the oak shelving. And again, this is IKEA doing what we need doing before we know we need doing it.
Yeah.
So we are thinking of painting the glass tile backsplash.
Yeah, we don't want to rip and replace. It's a lot of work. We really don't know what's behind that because they actually made a wall to hold out electrical and hosing, and we really don't want to.
We don't want to tear it down. And also I don't want to throw a big pile of stuff into landfill.
Yeah.
So we are thinking of painting, and we've been told by our local paint store, and they are quite expert, that it's quite possible to paint glass tile.
Yeah. You basically have to scrub it very clean with the product called
TSP, trisodium phosphate.
Make sure it's completely grease proof, and then prime it really well, which they have a specific primer for it, and then paint whatever paint you want to do.
So, do any of you have experienced, I haven't painted tiles before.
I actually approached him with the topic, and he's like, "What do you mean?"
I'm really nervous about painting glass tile because glass does not have much tooth to it. So, and we can't sand it because it's all like little tiles. So, if any of you have any experience with this, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Yeah. And we're thinking sort of
like it's
in
almost
the
like
warm tones.
It's almost like a really warm terracotta tone. You know, kind of playing with the brick tone.
With the brick colors, yeah.
And then those silver adornment things, because they actually come out a bit further. Maybe a darker tone, very, very dark, rich brown, or close to a black something, so you have a contrast.
We are actually open to, if any of you have tried this before, if it succeeded or failed, and any suggestions for color. I mean, you guys can see the kitchen.
Yeah.
If you guys have any ideas for color, that would be great, because we're open to suggestion.
Here's context. Countertop was going to be matte black. The kitchen right now, it comes in, you can see a white panel in between the cupboards, but the color of the kitchen overall is a very deep, deep, deep burgundy espresso tones, a bit purpley depending on the time of day. It has silver handles, which we will eventually replace to hopefully brass.
Yeah.
And obviously the stove, the backsplash of the stove and everything is all steel. So these are the tones we're working with. We thought maybe the terracotta to go with the brick might just help complement and not force us to change the kitchen completely.
Yeah. I guess the thinking was to take some of the tones from here and bring them into the kitchen and try and blend it all tonally. So,
but if anybody has, this is our first time doing this, a rip and replace is not an option for us. It's too much of a demo work. It always leads to something else. The cost just goes up. But if you have any suggestions, we'd be completely open to it.
Yeah, please.
So that's it for the kitchen. The next place we want to explore and share with you guys are the bathrooms.
Again, very dramatic looking, natural stone or slate tiles everywhere, floors.
Yeah. The ensuite's all slate.
Yeah. Well, just by way of intro, there's two washrooms here. There's one just inside the door in the hallway. It's a very nice, large washroom. Toilet, big sink, or countertop mounted sink.
Yep.
Lots of slate tiles, and then a really, really big and very tall shower with dual, two glass doors, swinging glass doors. Really nice.
Really nice, yes. And then the ensuite is, except for the ceiling, everything else is all slate. They completely slated it. It's a smaller one in size. It's 2 steps above. This bathroom was made after this condo was built. So they raised the bathroom just so they could have all the plumbing and the electrical below it. So that's the ensuite bathroom. Again, full bathroom, toilet, sink. It's a
walk-in shower.
Walk-in shower. It's nice. It's really, really nice.
The lighting we discovered is weird.
For both bathrooms.
Both bathrooms. They hung little pendant lights over the sink and the ensuite, over the sink and over the toilet. Yeah, like right at head height.
Yeah.
And
okay, so when you have a hard light source with no softness here, and when you look in the mirror, all you see are deep, dark shadows. You look very sinister.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Very sinister, yeah.
So if you're trying to get anything, never mind shaving to putting on makeup, it's
yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to even shave by this light because I can't see under my own chin.
Yeah.
So we're replacing.
Yeah.
We've bought a really cool fixture for the
bathroom, the main bathroom.
The main bathroom.
Yeah.
As opposed to the ensuite bathroom. Which I think is going to look really nice. It's a sort of antique industrial lighting fixture.
Yeah, we got it from a store that has been around for 40 years and they're closing down, and they basically source forgotten items. And we saw this, and what type of glass is it?
It's
more reminiscent to
slightly
us.
silvered.
Yeah.
It's a mid-century kind of glass.
It's more reminiscent to us because, we've seen this in photography as well, these lights being used. Right. So we thought it'd be a really nice one to have. And that also means It won't be a hard pin light. It will actually be
More
lighting,
diffused
more
light.
diffused, lighting up the whole bathroom.
So we're gonna work on the lighting in the bathroom.
Yeah. The lighting in the ensuite,
We haven't figured that one out at all because it's quite narrow.
it's quite narrow. It's still a tall ceiling, but it's not tall enough where you can get away with a large fixture to help diffuse light. And for some reason, there is a pot light above the toilet and there's a pot light, pen light above the sink. And I don't know why these two items are highlighted so much.
Like you're going to do a stage performance in the bathroom.
That's what it feels like. You enter, you're like, there's a toilet, there's a sink. No other character allowed.
So we will be addressing that. That's to be planned.
Yeah, we're leaving it at the last thing. It's workable. It's low priority right now. I think the more important because we use the other bathroom more.
If any suggestions, please feel free to comment.
Yeah, we'll provide footage of what they're looking like. But yeah.
So that's coming. And then
But you solved a bit of the lighting situation in the main bathroom with the cabinet.
oh, that's right. Because there was no storage whatsoever in the bathroom.
It was a piece of glass, a piece of mirror hanging off hardware.
Hanging on hardware on the wall. No cabinet.
Nope.
No nothing.
Yeah.
And it was actually sort of scary. Because it was like a 4.5 foot tall piece of glass being held by two little fixtures that were... So we took that down. And then after...
we tried IKEA.
We tried IKEA. That did not look great.
No.
So we ended up finding a medicine cabinet
on Amazon.
We'll provide a link below.
Yeah.
It's a black aluminum body with a mirrored front, glass drawers or glass shelves inside. The mirrored front has an LED light integrated into it. And an anti-fog mirror for the mirror, like a little heater for the mirror so it doesn't fog. And I really like it.
And the interior, there's actually a charging post for you to charge your shaver.
Right. Yeah, you can plug in your shaver or whatever, USB plugs or whatever you need inside the cabinet.
Yep, we've had it for about a month and a half now. We've been happy with it. So the link will be below if you want to check it out.
Yeah, and it's actually sort of nice because often if I go in there at night, rather than turn on the really bright overhead lighting that's in there, now I just touch the mirror and it turns on and gives us like a nice soft glow. So we're happy with that.
That actually gives us a really nice segue to the lack of storage in bathrooms.
That was a theme.
Why have a bathroom with no storage? Where do you put your stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
All there was in the main bathroom is a countertop sink.
And one shelf underneath it.
Not even, it's like an open cabinet and that's it.
Yeah.
Not even a towel holder. At least give us a towel holder.
So we found a nice cabinet at IKEA for the wall opposite the sink to hold things like, your medicines and your bandages and all the little stuff that accumulates in a bathroom that you don't want just floating around.
Yeah, and keep it one source. And then I think under the sink, you have a basket.
We're going to use some baskets. And just to have places to stick things.
We have a basket for our toilet paper, and we sourced hardware on Amazon. And we went for matte black just so it blends in with the bathroom for hanging our towels, and a small tower bar to hold a small towel for when.
And some nice little shelves for inside the shower, because the shower is big enough that the water doesn't even hit the opposite wall of the shower, which is really nice. So there's plenty of room in there to move around. We can both shower at the same time. Save water.
Yes.
And there's, room for like shelves on the opposite wall to put shampoo and shaving and all that sort of stuff. So
we didn't want to go with the shower caddy, the stuff that you put above the shower head and let it hang, because that shower head is actually very high up.
And we found, again, on Amazon, because there was just one shower head, sort of a rain head that didn't really do much. And it was very high up.
Yeah.
Like out of reach for you.
Yeah.
So I found, and this took a little searching, a really nice combination handheld shower and rain head,
Yep.
all adjustable, that attach to you basically take off the existing shower and attach this, and the controls for the handheld to rain head output are at the bottom of it.
Versus the top.
Versus at the top.
Yeah.
So that has been a great solution. We'll show that in the links in case you're curious.
Yeah. It didn't quite fit our shower arm, the existing
Took
arms.
a little attaching.
We bought an adapter to go with it, so it pulls it out a bit more, but we're happy with the system. The system's great. So that's what we did for the main bathroom for storage for now, and it seems to be working.
Yep.
The medicine cabinet and the mirror cabinet have been great. In the other bathroom, there is storage. It's really weird because the storage underneath, again, is also about 10.5 in depth.
Oh, it's not that deep.
It's not.
It's like 6 inches deep. They put a counter, there's like the sink, then they put a narrow counter running across the wall, along the wall, and like doored cabinets beneath, but they're like 4 inches deep.
They're not
really
very
narrow.
deep. And then the weird thing I find is that the counter comes out much further than the cabinet. They're not quite flush with the cabinet. So when you're reaching underneath, you can't really see what you're reaching for because the counter is right there. And to me, it feels a little awkward and dangerous.
It's very strange.
I'm trying not to use the below storage that much because I just find it, especially at night, it's just a bit of a danger for me to reach for anything. So my temporary, or what I've worked out, is that I've put in one of those cabinets or shelving from IKEA, nice and solid.
A nice one, actually.
Yeah.
Overall, IKEA seems to be really moving into a much more designer, contemporary look to a lot of their furniture. Doesn't look like, oh, I'm going to college, so I need some IKEA furniture.
And right now the bathroom still looks a bit messy because I'm still trying to figure out storage in there. But for now, you can see we wanted to have like a metal for the shelving because it's a bathroom. There's moisture, so we didn't want too much wood. And then we have our hamper in there as well, which fits really well.
Yeah.
And
We're getting there.
we're getting there.
To be developed.
To be developed. The next thing about bathrooms, specifically ensuite, is the glass wall. Now, aesthetically, that glass wall does look beautiful.
Basically, there's a frosted glass wall
Yeah.
between the ensuite bathroom and the bedroom, which in theory is an interesting idea. But considering that neither of those spaces have any outdoor light, like there's no window to light it,
so quiet.
it doesn't really seem to fulfill that, it doesn't fulfill the function of bringing light into the bathroom at all.
Yeah.
So it just makes it really hard to put furniture up.
Yeah, I'm not.
We're working on it.
I just don't. It's where you're like in a murder mystery and you're trying to solve a problem, or in an escape room and you're trying to get clues as to why something is the way that it is. I don't know what motivated this full glass wall. I understand if you want to do like a half glass, and then you can use the wall below to storage, and that's my rant for the day. But it's just, I don't understand the full glass wall, but
Yeah, it's like floor to ceiling.
it is
frosted glass.
Yeah. I'm just being very gentle and careful when we're using the hamper and stuff, we're not hitting the glass when we put stuff there.
It's tempered, but
Next thing, what's next?
the bedroom.
The bedroom.
Now, carrying on with our recurring theme,
Lack of lighting and storage.
lack of lighting, lack of storage. In the bedroom, good idea.
All that ranting.
In the bedroom, there were 2 IKEA wardrobes, sort of actually nicely built into the walls.
Yeah.
But that was it. And that's not enough for the 2 of us with our wardrobe.
No, especially obviously this, the person who lived here before it was solo, no partner or anything like that. So for one person, it's plenty of space and storage.
Yeah.
May have been, yeah. There was another
he
cabinet.
had other cabinets at the end.
It was a half depth.
But it was a very narrow depth cabinet and didn't really hold a lot.
So we sold it on Facebook Marketplace.
We found someone to take that on Facebook.
Yep.
And again, this is good old IKEA reading our minds. Just as we were discussing, we really should paint these cabinets to sort of match the dark walls in the bedroom. IKEA comes out with dark gray cabinets.
So what we got is a full depth, full cabinet, and then a half depth of the medium sized cabinet.
Yeah, so 100 centimeters for the full depth and 75 centimeters
for the half
depth.
Yeah.
And put them side by side, and they are actually doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
The dark gray color looks beautiful.
Yeah.
They did a really good job, and it means you have the dark gray inside and outside.
Yep.
So everything, and they did matching drawers, matching shelves.
It's a full system that all goes together.
Thank you, IKEA.
Yeah. And we, instead of doors for those cabinets, we opted for curtains because now the space is getting tight, and having doors on every cabinet was going to be problematic.
It's going to be a lot of...
Because the cabinet next, or not adjacent to it, it has a mirror door. And when we were trying to figure out and measuring where to place the new cabinets that we were getting, we found we can't have doors on everything.
Yeah. So curtains work just fine.
Yeah, and it kind of softens the room a little. If anything, it makes the room cozier.
We actually found it softened the sound in the room really nicely.
It did.
Just sort of deadened the echo in the room.
What a world when things are quiet at night.
Yes.
Where were we living in that we just got used to the noise? But we are very happy with it.
By the way, in our previous place, you guys never saw the bedroom, but the bedroom was up above and it overlooked the street. So every car that went by, every arguing couple, every set of soccer fans coming home drunk from a game, we heard everything. This place is blessedly silent.
Yeah.
Even though we're right on a busy street, this unit is really quiet.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
The bedroom is lovely and quiet.
Yeah.
And now it's got a nice muted tone.
Yep.
And we bought something that we'd had our eyes on for a long time. In the previous place, we
built the bed.
A storage bed, a bed with 2 huge drawers underneath it. We built it ourselves.
So we built the bed because we were looking at bed with storage. They were expensive at the time. We're talking...
And there wasn't a lot of options.
No, it was Murphy bed. We're talking about a decade ago. So we bought $375 worth of lumber and made the storage bed ourselves. And it was great. I actually miss it sometimes. We did a great job with it. But we couldn't bring it with us.
That's right. It was built in.
Yeah.
In the meantime, a company called EQ3, a Canadian furniture design and manufacturer, yay, Canada, created this great bed that we'd seen it, now we had our eye on it.
For years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's basically a lift-up storage bed. So it has the mattress, and then there's like a handle that you pull, and the mattress levers up, first of all, and then pulls right up out of the bed.
Yeah.
And goes level.
Yeah.
So that, first of all,
making the
bed you can do standing up.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Folding laundry, because we use the bed to fold laundry.
And I can stand up to fold the laundry because the bed's just at the right height to work standing up. And then underneath it, we got the queen size bed.
Yep.
We can store like a ton of clothing. We had our big moving bags that we ordered online. We had 6 of those underneath the bed while we were waiting to unpack them.
And figure out where to store things. Yeah. It's been great.
It's a great bed. And, right now we've got winter boots underneath there. Yep. Those will come out and our summer shoes will go away.
Yep. And some extra stuff we don't want to really pull out. It's just sitting underneath there.
And it's easy to access. Even because the bed pulls out, it's not like you're crawling back into the little angle between the bed and the headboard. And it's a really nice bed.
It was a luxury item purchase for us, but it for this space, because of the way the storage situation is, it has worked out perfectly. The other good thing is it's a fabric for the frame, and the fabric is washable because it's all velcroed in take it off, throw in the washer. If it gets dirty, put it back on. In the future, if you ever want to change the fabric because you see something you like, you can change it up. It's a very flexible luxury item.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's not that crazy expensive.
Well, we were fortunate. We got it on sale.
We seem to be fortunate walking into sales days.
Yeah, we're like, oh, it's on sale. Let's get it. We finally get the bed of our dreams. But it's been great. And the height we discovered under the bed, there's 2 legs that holds the frame. It's actually adjustable. So if you have tall storage items on the bed, you can actually make, I guess you can make the frame taller from underneath. Yeah. So it's not a set height. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So that's basically storage for us in the bedroom.
And we managed to, on Facebook Marketplace, find 2 perfectly sized mid-century modern bedside tables.
Yeah, restored.
That a husband and her wife team do. They specialize in mid-century modern. They pick up pieces, they refinish them back to their original look and style.
It's actually the wife does it.
Yeah.
Because she's a fan of the mid-century modern furniture. She loves the way they are and fully
She just wants them to be used and appreciated. So that was great.
And our conundrum was we couldn't get a big bedside tables. We only had specifically 18 inches on each side of the bed. He has a little more storage, but the way the bedroom is situated, 18 inches. So it was not easy finding mid-century modern furniture, bedside tables of that size. Found that it was fully restored, and we love it.
Yes, they're great.
Beautiful.
And we just sourced and installed a beautiful lamp for the bedroom.
This is for the lack of lighting. The lighting in the bedroom is just the one. It's a wall sconce, which we will eventually replace. We don't like the look of it. It came with the space. It's a very directional light, so it doesn't really fill the room, especially since we now painted the wall black. So we were really needing lighting, and after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of searching, because we first fell in love with this lighting style that we could not afford at all.
$8,000 for
$8,500.
lights. No.
Who's the designer? Very well-known designer from the mid-century modern time period, or before.
I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
I will get you the name. I can't remember. Mouillet?
Yeah.
Mouillet. George
Right.
Mouillet?
That sounds familiar.
I'll get you the name. Beautiful.
Beautiful lights on armatures that swivel and turn and all that, but
Very delicate.
$8,500 was just not in our budget.
Especially since we need to get more lighting for this space. But we found this light design by someone in Brooklyn again.
It's Brooklyn?
Yeah. The guy lives in
Robert Eddy.
Yeah. Fell in love with it. We got
Similar style, similar design,
right.
a little more modernized.
A little more modernized, and we liked the idea of having to have multiple arms and a light source so we could direct the light in different places. And this is the one that we got that we love, and we just installed it yesterday.
Just put it in yesterday and we're so happy.
Oh, it looks good. And it picks up the color. The wall is actually called Pan Black in paint. It's by Farrah and Ball. It's the only wall in the whole space where we spent extra money on. But when the light hits it, there's a purple burgundy undertone, and the light really brings out those tones. So it looks really beautiful.
Yeah, we're pleased.
We're pleased. Eventually, we're going to replace that sconce with something better as well.
I think the bedroom is, we'll
It's
replace
close
the
to-
sconce.
yeah.
We're getting close to it on the bedroom.
Yeah.
And all our clothes fit in the storage.
Yep.
So we're good to go.
We're good to go. So the next space, obviously, would be the only space that's left to talk about, is the living area / office.
Right. And
What is it about?
aside from storage, which we've now built shelving for,
And lighting, which we're getting
we're
lighting.
working on lighting.
Yeah, we've gotten 2 lights that we've just installed.
Again, mid-century lighting.
Yeah, Herman Miller?
Herman Miller is the manufacturer. They're designed by
Why are we blinking?
Nelson.
These are Nelson lights.
Nelson, the bubble lights.
Yeah, again, these are lights.
Very famous lights.
We've been eyeing them for years, and we managed to get them on sale.
Got them on sale.
Both of them.
So we've got that knocked. The oddest thing about the sort of the overall space, but particularly the living space is, and we discovered in talking with the property manager that when this building was originally made into condos in 2001
or 2003 something.
the building had been used as office space and some living space, probably I guess rental living space prior to that. And at some point there was radiant flooring put in throughout the building.
No, he said it was done when the building was first built in the 1800s.
No, it wasn't.
It's all big pipes underneath.
No, it's after that. But at some point when the building was turned from the sort of manufacturing offices to rental units, they put in radiant flooring, right? Which is great, except when the building after that went condo, apparently they couldn't officially have the radiant flooring because you don't have each unit separated.
Yeah, and it's not electrical radiant flooring.
No, it's a boiler and water pipes underneath the floor.
Yeah.
So they installed what's called fan coil heating. But that's not a problem. What's weird is that at some point, someone who owned this put in this actually very beautiful flooring. But I think because the building is quite old, the flooring wasn't totally even, and they didn't like pour a subfloor. So this is what's called a floating floor. It's just interlocked piece of engineered hardwood. But because the floors are uneven underneath it, as you walk across some areas, the floor sort of flexes underneath your feet.
It's almost like you can feel a joist.
Yeah, it's sort of, it feels like you're walking over a joist or something like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a big deal, except it happens to be in the area where we're likely going to be shooting videos.
So we'll have
So we're going to have to figure out some way to prevent like the cameras from shaking as we walk around. So
we decided not to investigate. We were talking about it when we were first moving in. Should we investigate the floor and see where are the gaps and see if we filled them? But we decided it'd be too costly.
Project.
Yeah, and let's just live in the space, enjoy the space.
We'll work it out.
We'll create solutions for whenever something is needed and go with that. And being that it's inherently a very old building, every old building comes with this where they eventually slope. And it's not that it's falling off, it's just they just eventually slope. Yeah.
Over 150 years.
Yeah. Even with the concrete flooring, it'll still slope. So the kitchen is the cabinets are at the highest point and then it slopes down. If you put a marble on the floor, it would be going to the center of our living area and stop there. Same if you started the marble from that end of the wall, it would come to the center of our living area.
So we've been, as we install furniture, there's a lot of little shimming going on.
Again, thank goodness we are good at doing construction work ourselves.
So that's something we'll just sort of figure out as we go along. And the other thing is the windows are openable, but not conveniently.
Not safe.
They're big, heavy windows that you have to sort of hand lift and hold up somehow. We're going to find a solution to that. We'll let you know how that goes.
We're using the tried and tested solution.
A brick.
A brick. It's a hold the window open.
Brick the window.
Yeah, right now we're just, Rob opens the window, I come in with a brick, and we put it in place because the window doesn't seem to lock in a place to stop. And they're very heavy windows. They're double paned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we'll solve that.
Yeah, in the future, I think we may just have someone come and look at the window and give us a quote and see what we can do, just so we can at least be able to open 2 windows.
Yeah.
So we can air things out. But we still love the windows.
Yeah, the windows are great because they're big, they're wide, they're tall, great light, and really pretty.
Mm-hmm. The other thing we found weird when we first moved in, and it was, so there were baseboards everywhere, including the brick wall. I'm not sure why, because there's no real way of holding a baseboard to a brick wall. The baseboard in this part of the kitchen was bowing out like this.
It was just, like not really attached to the wall, just sort of jam fit into place.
Yep.
With a big bow. So it's like,
I think that was
what
the
is
start
that?
of it.
Yeah, that was like, why do we need this? And we pulled it out, and the flooring was pretty much trimmed right up to the brick wall, as close as we needed to be.
Yeah.
And so we started the project of removing.
With just one hand, walk around and just remove the baseboard.
The baseboards were really sloppily put in, not great. So we just pulled them out.
Yeah.
And the floors go right up to the walls, and it's simple. And it's not something that shows because we got stuff against the walls pretty much everywhere.
And if you do see the wall, it actually gives it a much simpler look because the floor is dark, then there's a brick wall. They just blend in really well together.
Yeah,
and the baseboard
was just a big interruption.
Yeah, it was. And then the baseboard that was on the bookshelf TV wall, we were able to remove it so easily. We watched YouTube videos. We were ready to be very gentle with it so we didn't rip out the wall.
Yeah, gentle. We went and it came away from the wall.
And when we hired painters to paint the place, because we decided it would be too much work for us, we were still in the middle of downsizing and moving. We asked them to get one of their guys who's very good at patching of drywalls. He re-mudded the bottom part. He said it didn't take him very long because it wasn't very much damaged. Re-mudded it because the floor meets the wall, and it just made it look more seamless. So, yeah. And we built a shelf right there, so we didn't even need the baseboard there.
Exactly.
Interesting things in this place.
Little discoveries and things to do, and that's where we are in our journey.
We still have, we're going to still put a little more lighting in the living area, but it's getting there. We love coming home, is what I'm trying to say.
It really is nice. We're really enjoying the space.
Yeah.
We're enjoying being here and sort of developing it as we go.
And it's really our space. The previous space was shared with another couple. This is really our space.
And we're, originally the previous space was my building and business. And so this is a space that we're developing and doing ourselves.
Yeah. And I think the downsizing part has been great. Downsizing, huge process. But you really then become aware and being mindful of what you have, what you want to keep, and, really cherishing those items that won't just sit there and collect dust, which some of the items were back home for us in the previous place.
Yeah. So that's where we are in our journey to this point.
Yeah, that's...
Join.
How do we end this?
Stay tuned for more developments and more pretty things.
Yep. Once the place gets completed, then we'll do
a full tour.
And then we can actually get back to what we really love shooting,
which is
instructional videos, food videos, beverages, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
We are aching
We're getting there. Yes.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Hope everyone is doing very well, and
enjoy.
See you next time. Bye.